Alright guys, so this Jasminer's X4-1U stopped hashing for some reason. Their green light blinking, everything's set up like normal. There is no fault and it's not hashing on the network, so something going on with that. I'm gonna take apart. At the same time, I'll just put 4 of these fans that I had from my KS0 mining rig, so now I can use them. Set them 4 on the hash board and we'll see how it works. But the major problem, if it not start hashing, then it's not going to solve anything. I just want to see if anything inside, so I'll take it apart and check it out. All right, so I did these fans, plugged in the splitters, 2-way splitters right here, and basically one with the 4-pin, one with the 3-pin, which is fine because only one need to report the speed of the fan. So I connected one on this side and one on this side, on the front and on the back. It doesn't matter really which position, so as long as it could reach fan 1, fan 2 speeds, the system should probably be okay. See how much dust I need to blow all this out. This one has also a problem. Only have 7 chips showing up on the system, so I'm not sure. Something wrong with the hash board, or it's totally just not gonna hash at this point with that, but we'll try. And it uses 262 at 115 volts, 162 watts, and it just 7 chips out of 8 are working. I need to open up and check this one out as well next. Alright, so I have this one Ethernet connected, so let's plug the power. Alright, so we have the power on, all the fans spinning. Looks like it's all fine, and I was able, Chip Chunk showed the Noctua fans he put up, and he just used the screws, which perfectly fine. What I use is a 2-inch screw, and I cut it a little bit, those self-drilling screws. They perfectly work fine, and then they just connect to this heatsink. So you don't need to do that one, you could do a slightly shorter version. It's slightly bent a little bit, that heatsink leg, but it's totally fine. Look. This one I did a little shorter and it's fine. All you need just a couple of spins and it just totally works fine. So let's see how it's gonna start. I'll let it run and see if this is gonna even do hashing, because this board didn't hash before. But I don't know if the problem was with the fans, because apparently I had one of the fan was missing on that board right there, which I don't know, when I bought it used, maybe somebody pulled out that fan, but I don't know if that was the case. I'm gonna check the power, how much power I'm gonna use. So apparently it's probably, if it's not hashing, it's probably not using any power at all. So we'll see. There is no other lights that I know should be, but only 2 on the board. So I'm gonna take the other one. There's one blinking light right there. So I'm gonna take apart the other one, see how that works and what possibly could go. I need to take out the heatsink and see why maybe one of the chips just burned out. I don't know. I never actually take out the heatsink to see what's inside. So it would be a fun thing. Let's take a look. All right, now it's the time to unscrew this heatsink. I've never done it. Screw this bit. What do you think? I'm not sure how it works totally. Round fans, Fancasee. Okay, so I got 4 and 3 screws. So it looks like this is just holding it in place. So I need to disconnect all of this in order to get to the. Let's find out. They're not very tight, and that's so weird. Because I have 11 of these miners, and so I start checking out the hash rate. I noticed one is slightly lower, but they all fluctuating a little bit, so I was not too much surprised. But then when I look closer, okay, so how do we separate this thing? I don't want to break anything. Alright, so that's pretty easy. Oh wow. Oh wow. Look at this cheap. There are also some of the paste right here, so I need to repaste. I'm gonna be using an X6 Arctic thermal paste, so hopefully it works out pretty well. So yeah, let me clean it. Alright, so cleaned up all these crazy chips. Look how big are these chips. And they position different ways, so it's kind of crazy. They're like all random. Two this way, one this way, one that. I don't know. They're like a GPU chip, and then this has. So I need to put some of the numbers. They're all like X4-1U right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It is numbered 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number 1 ASIC is just right here. It doesn't look any different. So maybe it's one of these MOSFETs right there, guys. What do you guys think? Maybe this MOSFET is damaged or something. That's why it's not hashing. But I don't have equipment to test or check, so yeah, they're all like this color, on the other ones the same on this resistor, so there's nothing really around or on the chip that I could possibly see. I mean, they do have like little things, all of them has little kind of like spots, which I don't know, it's not, you can't touch it, it just maybe just a Chinese defects. Anyways, I'll have to put it back. Let's put the thermal paste and cover it up. Alright, so I put a bunch of put crosses, and then I add around, I don't know, put a lot of it. It's kind of messy, but I just want to make sure it's enough, not too little. It's a little always a problem. Okay, so let's see how am I gonna do it. He was in these holes, so I'm gonna flip it, and I need to align carefully right against these holes right there, guys. All right, so I'm gonna do just like that. Before I push it, so they nice and align. The thermal paste spread out a little bit. Also, chips are pretty big, so they use a lot of paste, so I don't recommend really, unless you really have some overheating issue or like a lot of rejected shares, or like, and this is the 8-gram tube, so probably, yeah, 8 grams, so 2 grams probably. I mean, less than obviously if 3M uses, but still a lot, yeah, much better. So let's just hope it spreads out pretty good. So, all right, so bad, so I don't think I did any good. I was just hoping to find something on that chip. Number one, that didn't work, but yes, there's nothing really I can do about it. So, but there's 4 screws on one side, 3 screws on the other. All it does is hold in this hashboard. I was hoping to find something there. So, all right, this looks like we're good. I tightened everything. I'm gonna connect this back. So I need to find more fans to put it on top. Obviously disconnect these guys. And you need to make sure you use 4-wire fans and spinning, so you need to report back the fan speed. And this little thing we gotta cut off. So for 4 splitters, spins, I'm gonna go like this. One that's gonna read the speed, that's most important. And by the way, you only need one, obviously, that records the speed, and the second you can just put, because it's only 3 pin option, so you can use 3 pin. And this actually works pretty well with that smaller thing, and then the second I can just put directly there. So let me find more fans, more of those Arctic Tech. That was Tech fans, right? Yeah, we'll get it assembled. All right, so it's been 1.5 hours, and you could see the temperatures are 46.51 right there. So it's running like a little higher on this miner number 8, but it didn't started to hash before. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to replace thermal paste. Maybe it's kind of overheating the chips, because all the 8 chips showing up here. See all the ASICs here compared to the other one. I don't have number 1 there. Now I'm cooling down a little bit better, so it started. So I may need to thermal paste maybe that miner, because it's been running probably 2 years non-stop. So anyways, let me start the other one. I don't think the chip, my first ASIC chip, not gonna pop up. So this is the miner. I haven't refreshed this page. So you could see I have 7 chips. So right now it's not online because I just replaced the paste. So I'm gonna start it, and it didn't show the second. The first temperature was not showing, but it's running 55, and the chip number 1 not showing. So, but the fans were like 15,000, 16,000 RPM. Obviously loud, cool base temperatures. Yeah, this ASIC running pretty cool, no rejected shares because amps are below 50. So my hope is that thermal paste is gonna help on number 2 when I'm gonna start, but I don't think it will help the what do you think, this first ASIC. I mean, nothing was wrong with that. Obviously cheap that I could find, so they're eventually it's not gonna start anyway. But 7 chips, we'll see what temperatures I'm gonna get. I was used to getting 55, so let's go and start it. All right, so I am gonna disconnect this one. That's my number 8. Temperature's it's kind of, heatsinks kind of hot. I know this fan's maybe not enough set up. The ambient temperature here is 77 degree. 77 degree, right? So not too hot, so it should be running pretty cool. But okay, let's disconnect and connect this number 2 with that 1 chip and see what we're gonna get. So now I can use this miner. I need to figure out the cover from the dust, so I can run it somewhere else. I don't know if I can put it in the shed like this, because the way the air coming from different side, from the front to back, so it may not gonna work. So let's try this one. Alright, so let's start it. Okay, we have green. Red on the front, and we have same blinking there, and all the fans running. Alright, well, let's see what this number 2 gonna get to us. I'm gonna put it sideways so the heat coming on both sides of the miner, you know, like so it's just coming out both ways, so the cool air just comes, ideally it should be flipped around so the cool air goes from the bottom, pushes away, maybe something like that, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's kind of harder to stack them, like when I have 10 of them stacked. If I do this kind of setup, it'll be probably not really possible, but to stack them. But I'm probably gonna have to choose ones that running pretty badly, so I may need to repaste thermal paste to get them running without rejected shares. Maybe that's the issue, because they've been running very long time, over probably a year before I bought it, and I was using them for a year, probably 2 years non-stop. Alright, so let's go check it out when it gets started on Voltmeter. Alright, so I have this number 2 was running all night for almost 12 hours. So this is the one I repaced with the 7 chips. So one chip didn't come up back to life, obviously. It's probably just bad chip now. But we'll take a look at the specs. I have this cover, just cut out the piece so the air doesn't mix the hot and cold, so it just pushes the cold air to the sides. And I have the number 8, I put it there. Just vertical, it doesn't really matter, so it's winding also all night. So we'll take a stats. Let's take a look on computer and see the number 2, number 8, what do we have? Alright, so we're back in the computer and I just refreshed the screen. So number 2 is on the very top. You could see there's a 7 chips only here. And the temperatures are the first one doesn't even show on this. It was always like that. So it shows 0 and 48 now on the out temperature, which I usually had about 55 before. So and I replaced this one with the new thermal paste, but I don't think it's really matter much, but maybe it is. It's running 493 average, real time right now 599, but because one chip is missing, it's kind of hovering around 490 in average, 490 to 4, it's almost 500. Have other ones like running to 580, average 570 and 580. This one is 502, number 8, that's the other one. So that have a lower hash rate, that's the number 8. With the new, also the temperatures, guys, are a lot lower, 44, 48 here, compared to all the other ones with the stack fans are slightly higher. And another one that runs a little bit cooler, just don't see it here. I believe it was number 1. Nope. Okay, well, it was below 50s for sure before on one of them, but not anymore looks like. So maybe this one, 11, yeah, 40, 38, 50. So it's in the garage, maybe it's a little bit cooler there, that's why. And you could see the actual speed, fan speed are slower because of the temperatures lower, but the other ones are running super high fan speeds, which are using a lot more power. I want to test those fans, the stock fans, and see how much actually power they use compared to the top fans I put, because I put 4 fans, which about 2.5 watts, so total about 10 watts, maybe a little plus minus, so in average, and it's using 260. This one using the 7 chip using 230 watts at the wall, and the other one using 260 watts on 240 volts. So let's see how much these fans actually use in power, because I believe it's probably a lot more than like 40 watts probably. They're pretty powerful, like 16,000 RPM. That's just crazy and noisy.
annoying fan. So let's look at the web GUI as well. What do we have here? So this is my number 8. Okay, so number 8. Yeah, right there, 45, 49. Everything else looking good. One rejected share. So this guy used to actually not to even start, so I couldn't even start this guy. So I don't know if that helps, you know, running cooler a little bit helps to start it or what. But yeah, I'm happy it's finally I can use it. The fan speed 1200 RPM, which it can go up to 14 or 1500 max. So let's see what else. Oh, and then yeah, also I noticed that the version I updated all firmware. If you have a January version here, January I believe 26 as well. So this is July 26, the latest firmware, but it's from 2022, so it's still old. But if you haven't updated that, if you go to the miner setup and change your worker name here, for example, right, and click update. So with the January version, if you have a January one, I already updated all, but I used to just change the miner name if I need to switch something to different name here, and it will just automatically restart the miner, and it will take 30 minutes again. So now if you change the name with the new firmware and click update, it does not restart your miner. Like, look, it's just gonna say please wait. You go to the status page, 13 hours, it's not gonna restart the miner. It will just switch to the new whatever name you're gonna give, and it will automatically change that. Only you restart if you don't see that on the pool. Like if you look on the pool and you don't see that change here, then you do restart. But for me it worked perfectly. I didn't need to restart, and I like that because it's 30-minute waiting. It's just so much waste if you're changing all of them, you know, the names or anything. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys like it. Oh yeah, let's go and check those fans consumption for the stock fans.
Actually uses crazy, like this one 6200 RPM, but it looks like they're similar fans, but this uses a lot more power for some reason. A lot noisier. It's gonna go to 6200 RPM, but look at this, it's 39 minus 7, 32 watts, and it will run 6200 RPM, crazy. Yeah, a lot of wind blowing. So yeah, just to show you guys, to compare like how much these fans take in power. So take in consideration when you're running these fans, assumption is the power. If it's full speed, it's going to use a lot of power. Obviously, if you drop the speed, like I'm going to show you, we can drop, let's say, it does not show over 10,000 RPM on this display. So let's take a look at, I'll drop I'm going to decrease this and increase temperature real quick so you could see on the lower speeds. Let's put them at 50% here, and let's increase the lower temperature to 25. Alright, so I was able to adjust the speed on these guys to 5000 RPM. You could see right here 5000 RPM, and it's only taking about 6 watts each, so it will be only 12 watts. So if you're running 5000 RPM and able to cool it down, which I would doubt it will ever run that speed, so yeah, definitely we'll have to increase. So let's go to 50%, see what it is, 7,000 RPM. Yeah, I've seen 7,000 RPM sometimes when it's super cold, and then you're able to achieve only 7-8 watts, so it will be 16 watts, 15 to 16 watts of power usage for the fans, which is pretty close to these fans that you put on top. Slightly more, but then you're able to get to that power range. So if your fan's running over 7,000 RPM, I guess, then you're pretty much overusing the power by a lot. So let's increase this to 60% just to compare. All right, so you're using, let's say 89, almost 9,000 RPM, and it's already 10 watts per pair. So 10 watt each, that's 20 watts. So see how quickly the consumption increasing. So, all right, so now it's over 10,000 RPM at 70%. Let's go 67. Yeah, still 10,000, over 10,000 RPM. See, like even at 65%. Okay, this is 9,800 RPM. So 10,000 RPM is probably 66% roughly, right? So yeah. So at 10,000 RPM, you'll be using about 12 watts roughly. So it'll be almost 24 watts of power. And then 80%, that's probably 12,000 RPM. You're using close to 16 watts, so that's 32 watts. Then let's go to 90%. That's probably around 1,400 RPM. And 1,400 RPM using 20 watts. And obviously 100%, that's 16,000 RPM, I believe, yeah. That's when you get to 32, which is 25 watts. Then when you get 50 watts at 1,000. So yeah, do your math, see how fast your fans are running, then you know your power consumption is going up higher. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. Click the like button and let me know what you guys do with your Jasminers, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright, and I'm running 4 of these fans, 120 millimeters. Look how quiet they are, and they're 1,400 RPM. They're running at 1410 right now, and only 7 watts for all 4 fans. That's super. I mean, 7 watts, you can't beat it for 4 fans that could cool down your Jasminer. So yes, check your power on your fans. Make sure you're using the proper fans also, that it cools, have enough air to cool your equipment, but also do not overuse your power. So make sure you use the right configuration of the airflow, the power. Make sure it's balanced basically, right? So keep in mind that, and thanks for watching.